Once you start watching silent films, it really becomes a whole different experience. It helps you understand and the visual storytelling that the whole medium is based on. The fact that there's no sound allows you to really live in the streets with those people and to really experience it. My name is Margaret Bodde, and I'm the Executive Director of the Film Foundation. This week we're looking at two short films, both focused on the streets of New York City, recently preserved by the Museum of Modern Art, Musketeers of Pig Alley, from 1912, directed by D.W. Griffith, and In the Street, released in 1952 by the filmmakers Helen Levitt, James Agee, and Janice Loeb. When you're walking around the streets of New York City, everywhere you turn, there's life in front of you. People are kind of, coming from all over the world and thrown together in this melting pot of New York City and living their lives, really, in the streets. It's kind of a forced community, and you see that in Musketeers and Pig Alley. It's a story that utilizes everything that makes cinema cinema. D.W. Griffith was really honing the language of cinema, being able to craft stories that could be told visually, and they were distinct from other kind of theatrical styles that a lot of the early silent cinema replicated. There's an amazing scene where the camera is looking into an alley, and you have Snapper Kid hugging the wall on the far right of the frame, and at one point the character's face is held. And it's incredible. There's something completely modern. The way that the camera and the angles are being used, that is a scene that is just, it explains cinema in one shot. D.W. Griffith has obviously a controversial kind of legacy. He used his genius in propagandistic ways and in ways that we abhor now, but he was a pioneer in the ability to use cinematography and editing to tell stories, and we use those techniques today. The film In the Streets, which was made in 1948 but released in 1952, it's a documentary approach to the streets of New York City, in this case, Spanish Harlem. The decision to make it without sound, it really focuses you in. You almost hear in your own consciousness the voices, the laughter. It allows you to just be present. I feel like I'm inhabiting those streets with those characters. Perhaps that was one of the reasons that the filmmakers decided to keep the film silent. The camera that they used was quite small, and it allowed them to photograph the entire film with a kind of a hidden camera, so that the subjects were so natural, and you really were this kind of person just walking down the street with all these characters. And then there's one extraordinary moment where the camera is revealed and all the young faces are looking at the camera, and it's a radical moment in the film, and it's really quite powerful. New York City is the flame that everyone kind of gathers around, because it does have so much hope and promise, and also so much despair and wanting too. It's a really evocative place, certainly for cinema. There's never been a film made in New York City that doesn't feature New York as its character, as almost sometimes the main character of the film.